All right. Good morning. I'm going to get started. Today, as you know, you're taking your first JavaScript hands-on test. It was emailed to you this morning, so I'd like to go over each of the problems. All right. For the first one, create an array named favorite movies. If you don't remember how to do that, you will do something like this. Let favorite movies equal, well, just like that. That creates the array. All right. Ask the user to enter their favorite movie into a text box. So you'll have to make a very simplistic form. All right. Then have them click a button. As it says, when they click the button, it should add the movie to the array. All right. Then use a for loop to print the movies out. Now, when you're doing that, if you say, well, geez, I can't do that, I don't know how to do that, it's not that different. You may have to look at the examples that we did. The one that I did, the homework example, all right? If you remember in that homework example, we had a text box. You put a value in there. But instead of printing that value out, you're going to be putting it into an array. So you may have to look at both the homework example we went over yesterday and that last array example that we went over yesterday. That one is out there in a GitHub repo. Kind of do a combination of those two. All right. And as you can see, that's worth 5, 10, 20 points. The second one, ask the user to enter their age into a text box and click a button to verify. So very similar type of thing. So you're going to have to do an if statement. So in other words, you're going to do something like if age greater than or equal to 21, then basically, what does that mean? It says display a message. So you can say alert, welcome to the venue. All right, something like that. Then it says if you're under 21, all right, so you can say else if age is less than 21, you can again do an alert that says you're not old enough. All right. And then finally, finally, when you do that, all right, else, and then you can do the other message, whatever that other message is. Please enter your age. All right. So you can say if they do not enter an integer, well, what is that? Can't see our screen. Great. All right. Let me start it over then. Okay. Thank you for letting me know. It's on me. All right. So let's quickly go over this. Number one, create an array named favorite movies that holds your 3 favorite movies. This is worth 20 points. And I showed this, but I'm going to show it again. This is the kind of thing that you'll do. Let favorite movies equal something like that. All right. And then you will have to combine together the array problem that I went over with you yesterday. That was number 3. And I did save that as part of a GitHub repo. All right, so combine that array problem with your homework problem. All right, between the two of them, it's got everything that you need in there. All right. Now it does say that it's a text box, so you don't want to use a number input box like we used when we were putting in the putting in numbers. All right, for the number of burgers and then etc. So just want to make it type text. All right. The second one, again, is going to be something like this. You will ask the user again to enter that information. After they enter that information, you're going to do something like this. Well, what's the first thing? It says if you do not put in an integer, say, please enter your age. So we could say right away, if is NaN age. So in other words, if they put something non-numeric in there, you do an alert that says, please enter your age. Something along those lines. All right. Otherwise, so else, if they enter an age less than 1 or greater than 200, say age out of range. Okay. So else, if age less than 1 or age greater than 100, all right, then you want to say alert age out of range. Else, so if this is the case, if that one's hit, they put something non-numeric in. All right. If they get down to here, they put in something numeric. So this is a range check. If they get down to here, they put in a number between 1 and 100. They have to have. So if it's greater than or equal to 21, you say, welcome to the venue. Otherwise, you say you're not old enough, and we don't even need that. That's pretty much what you have to do. The third one, ask the user to enter a number, 1, 2, or 3. All right. So again, it's going to be very, very similar to what I just showed you. So let's just grab this and I'll come down here. So you'll ask them to enter a number. Okay. If they enter a 1. So if number equal 1, you'll do an alert that says 1 is the loneliest number. I'm just going to put 1 is the loneliest and you put the rest in. ... Otherwise, if the number is 2, you're going to say 2 can be as bad as 1, etc. Now you will type all that out, but I'm just want you to see what I'm doing here. All right, 3. So else if number equal 3, you want to say there is no 3. All right, then it says if they enter a string value, you should say, please enter a number, not a word. All right. So we can do that even first. So if is NaN number. All right. So they've entered something non-numeric in there. Alert. Please enter a number, not a word. Else, if it's a 1, so bring this up. So if they put something non-numeric in, and did I put here? Nope, that should have a parenthesis. All right. So if they put something non-numeric, please enter a number or a word. Otherwise, if it's a 1, 1 is the loneliest number that you'll ever do. If it's a 2, 2 can be as bad as 1. It's the loneliest number since the number 1. 3, there is no 3. Otherwise, so we can just say else. And what were we supposed to put in there? You didn't enter a valid number. So you didn't enter a valid number. All right, so that's number 3. 4 is unbelievably easy. I'm just telling you right now. You're supposed to use a for loop. Okay? So remember, if you were going to do a for loop and you were going to print out all the numbers from 1 to 100, you would say for let LCV, our loop control variable, equal 1, LCV less than or equal to 100, all right, plus LCV. And then all you would have to say to do this, there's a lot of ways you can do it, but you want to print them out. Well, one thing we could do is we could say let str equal nothing. Okay. And then here I can say str plus equals LCV plus a blank space. Now, what that's going to print out is 1 space, 2 space, 3 space, 4 space, all the way to 100. All right. You're supposed to print out odd numbers. I'll let you figure out how to do that because I've given you 50% of the problem already. All right. And the last one is very similar. I will give you a hint. You don't want to add 1 there. All right. And here, so here you're going to want to add a different number than 1. And here you're probably going to want to start at 15 and add 15. That's literally all there is to this test. So 4 and 5, if you do those first, that's a 40 right there. And literally that should take you a matter of minutes to do. 1, 2, and 3 all have similarities. So you might want to do 2 and 3 together. If I was doing this test, I'd do number 4 first because I think it's the easiest. Then I do number 5 because I think it's the second easiest. Then I would do numbers 2 and 3 because they're very, very, very similar to one another. Finally, I'd go back and I'd do number 1. All right. Now, if something doesn't work on your test, really, and I'm trying to be serious here and I'm trying to be fair to everybody, it's your job to try to figure out why it didn't work. All right. Because I keep getting people who sent, on homework and tests and whatever, keep sending me things saying, I don't know how to do this. Why isn't this working? Sometimes you're spelling a word wrong. Remember, if you go and run a program, so if I come in here and I run a program, all right, this is maybe the most important thing for you to understand. So if I go in here and where's the thing from yesterday? I've got it over here. So as an example, so I'm going to bring up from yesterday the BMI program. All right. In fact, let me just bring this up. I'll do this very quickly and then I'm done for the day. All right. So open this with code. I bring up the BMI program. All right. So there it is right there. And I bring it up and I run it. Okay. So I go to the HTML file and I run the program. Now, when I do this, it works. But let's pretend for a second when I press this button, nothing happened. I'm going to make that happen right now, just so you see it. I'm going to put in here on click with a capital C, and I think that'll break my program. All right, so file, save all. I'm going to run the program again. All right, and I click it. Oh, I guess it still did work. All right. So let me put a different error in there because there's a reason I'm doing this, not to waste my time or yours. All right. So I'm going to come in here and I'll put it back to a C here. And I'm going to purposely introduce an error into here. All right. So right here, I'm going to put total Uber weight equals 0. In fact, I'm not going to do it there. I'm going to do it when I'm using it. So let me grab over here. Here, how about this? Instead of is NaN, I put is na. That's an error. You can tell I spelled something wrong. But I'm going to save it. I'm going to go back to here and I'm going to run my program. And I click and it says, please enter a height. And now it's stopped. Well, geez, what's the problem? I don't know. If this happens to you and you get your screen like this, right mouse click, choose inspect, and go over to console. And you'll notice it says is not defined. This is what chapter 5 that we'll go over tomorrow is all about. And that is debugging a program. I can even take my mouse and click on here and it shows me the line that was in error. Now, sometimes you're going to get a very generic error and it's going to be hard. So you might have to Google the error to find out exactly what it is. But again, I go back to here, I change that back to an N, and now everything will work. All right. That's about all I can think of. So again, I will be online all day. If you do have questions, something on the test content, feel free to email me. All right, and I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Whoever sent me the message saying I wasn't showing my screen, thank you. All right. And I will talk to you tomorrow where we'll go over chapters 4 and 5. I'll see you then. Thanks.